Hey everyone, it's Matt.
And this is Lucas,
This is Thanks for Playing,
the podcast where we break down the most iconic video games the world has to offer.
Woo!
Oh man, that one hurt.
I know. I went back and forth on what I wanted to do, and then I realized I left a good second of silence, so I just kind of went in.
Yeah.
And that was the end result there. We're joined. Well, first you heard that lovely laugh. Of course, we're joined by Hot Mickey. How you doing, Hot Mickey?
I'm doing fantastic. Got my cat
Talking to the
Mickey,
mic,
we can't hear you. You got talking to the mic, Mickey.
Yes, I'm doing fantastic.
Okay, cool.
I got my cat right next to me. She's just chilling right behind me.
Yeah.
Please talk into the mic for all
Yes.
future speaking
Yes.
to us. All right, thank
And
you.
of course, we're also joined by the Milkman. Milkman, give us some milk, baby.
The milk is here, everybody. The mic is right up in my face.
You're eating the mic.
Full of lactose.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Matt, is that a mustache I see?
It is. Mustache Matt is temporarily back for at least a week and a half or so. I'm having fun with it lately again. It comes and goes, you know.
I like it.
I like it too.
Keep it.
I would keep it, but I did agree with my partner that when I meet her parents for the first time, I will groom it up a bit more. Which, you know,
I don't
feel
think you
like
should
that's-
yield on that one, man.
I'm okay with it, honestly, because it's not my typical looks. I want them, you know, the typical
Get the
Matt,
genuine Matt.
the genuine Matt.
Yeah.
But after that, I'm growing it back out.
Yeah, please. I actually think it's a
Yeah.
sick look.
I really enjoy it too. I'm really committed to growing my hair out this time.
Are you really? You said that before.
I mean it this time. I mean it.
Oh, shit.
So I'm excited about it. Yeah, it's a new era.
Yeah, I can't
Matt.
wait for Matt to get as long as hair as I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know about
long
that,
hair
Big
myself.
Mike, but I want to hit
I don't-
my Russ Cole phase. You know,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Are you rewatching True Detective or are you just watching the new season?
I'm watching the new season, but I've realized, in Chambers, you've probably picked up on this too, because I know you're watching it. The newest season does kind of link a little bit to the first season, so it's really making me want to go back and watch that first season. Because truthfully, when I watched that first season, I was like, I watched it, but I had a lot going on, so I really only half watched it, I guess. It was just kind of background noise for me, so I'd be very curious to really just rewatch it now and appreciate what it is.
Arguably the best season of television.
So
ever.
Chambers, when's the last time you saw it? Does it still hold up, or was I just in college and I thought it was really deep?
No, I rewatched it. I want to when I had COVID last year.
Oh,
And it
Big
does
choice.
hold up. It's
Okay,
fucking
sick.
sick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely better than any of the other seasons, and it made me remember how many other TV shows have copied that style of TV intro. Like Narcos, all their intros is basically a ripoff of that original True Detective, but it is very good. Matthew McConaughey can be kind of silly at times. He gets a little in his feels too much, but no, it goes hard.
okay.
I love the
Sick.
way he smokes cigarettes. He's so cool. Smoking cigarettes is not cool, but he makes it
is
look cool.
Menthols are cool.
Just the way he just. I watched a video on it the other day, just talking about his character, and they're like, you notice how he doesn't do any like fancy exhales or anything anything like that. He just takes extremely long drags and just holds it in. It's like he wants all the negative parts of it. That's why he's doing it.
Yeah, he wants a blood.
Dang. Okay, it's due for a rewatch for me then too.
Do for sure. Watch for sure. Such a
Yeah.
good show.
I just started the new season of Curb last night because the final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm just dropped. Chambers, you check it out. I thought it was a okay season opener.
Yeah, I was really cheering for it the whole time, and I was like, it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. To be honest, I just finished the most recent season this past week, gearing up for this new season, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like some of the storylines that are continuing are a little dried up.
I don't care about that judge lady.
Yeah, Irma and stuff. Yeah, and I don't know. Hopefully the season goes really well. It is the final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, so it's a big deal. It's a big cultural moment that we're going to be experiencing here.
That's a show that is lost on me.
Oh, Matt, big show,
dude.
Great show.
Larry David. Yeah, I know a lot of girls
Yeah.
that find Larry David extremely attractive.
You know a lot of girls.
Dude,
At least
there-
3. At
it's
least
a thing.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's objectively not attractive, so I'm curious.
He
to hear
gives
the
no
thoughts
fucks and he's funny.
Yeah, that's true.
And he has a lot of money.
He does have
The money
shitload
is
of
a big
money.
part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Any other extracurriculars you guys got? Anybody watch the Grammys?
No,
I
dude.
didn't watch
I
the
did.
Grammys, but the performance of Fast Cars like blew up on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
People were just like, God, after years of not performing, I am blanking on her name. Who is the artist that
know.
sings it? Fuck.
I
Taylor
forgot as
Swift.
well, but it's a great song.
But yeah, people were just
Let me-
like blown away by the performance of it, and I agree.
I typed in Fast Cars and like a Mustang came up on Google and a Bugatti. So there's no way to find out who performs the song.
I heard Killer Mike got arrested or something.
He got detained. Okay, let's not spread misinformation on this podcast.
Who is this?
Killer Mike, the rapper.
Come on,
Tracy Chapman. That's who it is.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Mickey. Yeah, Killer Mike. He won his Grammy for Best Rap Album, which is long overdue because he's kind of a legend at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And he got into an altercation backstage, and then police didn't really quite know what to do, so they detained him till they figured out what was going on. So the headline is, he got detained. I haven't followed up on the story. I'm sure there's more to it, but yeah, bummer. But also, Killer Mike getting detained is kind of sick because
Sounds funny.
Yeah, he probably enjoyed that.
Yeah, he probably, and
He
also
was
it's like the single he's going to drop after this is probably going to be really great.
Yeah.
I saw Lisa Ann got detained at a Matt Rife show. Did y'all see that one on Twitter?
No, what?
Who's that?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really dig too. I'll do research right now. Actually,
We're way off topic, but yes,
Yeah.
keep it going. That's a great thing you just said.
Yeah, no, I was browsing Twitter, and there was just a video of Lisa Ann being like shuttled away by police officers. Her yelling, "I didn't do anything. I just wanted to see Matt Rife. I didn't do anything."
Wow.
And my first reaction was this must be the opening to some porno, but it was not.
Yeah. Wait, Matt,
was
for
real-
those
Damn.
listeners who don't know, who is Lisa Ann?
Lisa Ann is one of the goat of pornographic actresses. She is notorious. She has been a MILF since I started watching porn. To give some context,
Hell yeah. What year
guess
was that?
that's
Like
true.
08?
when did I turn 13?
When did the Wii internet browser come around?
Yeah.
It's probably 2006 or 7 for
That's
Matthew.
like 07.
I think
God,
we
I
came
just
out 07.
remember-
No. I think we came out 04, right?
The Wii came out in 2006 because I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
I just remember this kid. This just reminded me. This kid in my grade, in like 7th or 8th grade, had a PS3, and he was like, "Bro, I've been watching so much porn on my PlayStation." And he's like, "My mom found out, and she took my PlayStation away."
Oh, dude.
He's like, "I'm still watching it though. I just found different ways." Like, just like peak middle school, like
Man,
porn.
times are so different.
So funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's a porn star. She got shuttled away for apparently having her phone out during the show, which I didn't know that was. Well,
Some comedians really keep that on a hush.
fair enough, but I would think that's not like a. I can understand being escorted out of the venue, but being literally like escorted out by police, not by, I don't know. See, it was a little odd to me. But yeah, that happened. So, free my girl Lisa.
Okay. Yeah, Matt. I'm sure she'll be all right. It does sound like the start of an adult video, though.
That's what I
will
thought.
say.
That's what I thought.
Okay. Should we dive in?
Yeah. Let's get into
So
it.
who here watched the Sony State of Play live?
Unable to
I
watch
didn't
it.
even
but-
watch any of
Yeah,
it.
I didn't.
I have
didn't
a
either.
job.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either. But I caught up on it, and there's quite a bit of news that has come around. One of my favorite things about the Sony State of Play was near the end, there was a 10-minute long trailer of Death Stranding 2. It just kept going and going and going. It was just totally Kojima. It was like, it wasn't even a trailer. It was like a super cut of the story. I don't know how they didn't give the entire story away. They probably did. It was kind of...
Was he just delivering
egregious.
packages again or what?
No, I mean, I haven't played Death Stranding. I actually have it downloaded on my Steam Deck. I want to play it pretty soon here. But It expands the world quite a bit. There's a bunch of new characters. The lore is huge. Norman Reedus's brother is like a character in it now, and he has a electric guitar for a weapon that shoots out lightning from it.
Oh, I saw that guy. Yeah.
That's kind of sick.
Nice.
I don't know. I actually was very intrigued, even though it was a bit egregious. I feel like it probably could have been 4 minutes max, like trailers normally are. But I did watch all of it, and I thought it was actually very intriguing. So I think I think I'm gonna be picking up Death Stranding 1 here pretty soon.
That's
Okay.
excuse me. That has been on my list for a while now. I think Death Stranding would be a game I really enjoy playing over the course of like 6 months, like an hour here or there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just when you have nothing to do.
Yeah, I think that's
So fun when you're bored.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's no better option on
Yeah,
the table.
that one is on my list because so many people liked it, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And I really haven't dove into too much of anything that Mr.
Kojima-san.
has done. Kojima-san has done. So I'm due. But yeah, it looked insane from what I saw. Just the typical craziness. A lot of babies just everywhere.
Yeah. In the
people
Oh
floating.
yeah, hella babies.
If I were to, did you guys see the trailer? Who saw it? I'll describe it verbally for those that didn't see it.
All right, pretend I can't see.
Okay, so there was in the trailer there was a baby in like a birth canal shooting a spaceship out of its mouth. That was one thing.
Okay.
There was a guy using an electric guitar as a weapon. There was like these mechanical 4-legged robots that barked like dogs, even though they had no face. There was a flood coming up on a river on Norman Reedus. There was a tricycle motorcycle in it featured as well. That looked pretty cool.
Schroeder said.
And there was, instead of like a face mask, there was like a doctor in a surgery with hands over her mouth instead of like a face mask.
Yeah,
as the face mask.
Yeah.
So it's like, Chambers, it's in that weird zone where it's like it's kind of surreal, but it's like funny kind of, or it's like mildly self-aware, but it's kind of playing it straight. But everybody eats it up kind of thing.
Only something Japan could cook up.
Kojima-san.
That's cool.
So honestly, I'm into it. I'm blown away by everything that Kojima's kind of doing right now, because he also had that announcement at the Game Awards with Jordan Peterson. And I mean,
he announced another game at this too, didn't he?
Yeah.
No,
Physics.
Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele.
Oh my God, I said Jordan Peterson, didn't I?
Didn't say
Why did I say
Jordan
Jordan Peterson? Oh no, not him. I would play that though.
I heard Jordan Peterson, but I knew you meant Jordan Peele,
dude,
and it just completely went over my head. You said Jordan Peterson.
That's like the third time that that's happened to me, where I've said Jordan Peterson when I meant Jordan Peele. It happens all the
It's a
time.
game about doing benzos.
Yeah. And he also confirmed a new IP for PlayStation, which is Physint. And he was actually on with the Sony head. I think it was Sony US head or something like that. So I mean, he's basically got 3 projects in the works: Death Stranding 2. He's got the new one with Jordan Peele, and he has this new IP that he's working on. So I'm kind of blown away with just the work that he's putting on. I know he's got a big team. I know Kojima Productions is not just him, but he's got his stamp on a lot of big things coming around
He's
the corner.
putting Sony on his back right now.
He really is, dude.
Yeah.
And honestly, did you guys any more on Death Stranding 2 and Kojima? Because there's a couple other ones I want to talk about.
Okay.
Matt, we talked a couple of weeks ago about Sony versus Microsoft, how Microsoft has positioned itself pretty well in the market with acquisitions, and then of course Game Pass is just blowing PS Plus out of the water right now. Mm-hmm. Rise of Ronin looks super sick. They showed a lot of that. I thought it looked awesome. And Stellar Blade, did you see that one?
I missed
the extended
Blade, actually.
Stellar Blade. It was pretty extended. I'll talk about Rise of the Ronin first. Did you guys check that one out yet? It's been announced for a little while.
Is that
Looks like a bit more dynamic
samurai game?
Ghost of Tsushima. Is how I would
Yeah,
describe it.
exactly. It's a little. It takes place a little further into. It takes place in the 1800s Japan, where I think Ghost of Tsushima took.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Earlier.
15th, 16th century.
Oh, I've seen. Yeah, I saw the trailer.
This one looks super sick, not gonna lie. It looks like a cross between Ghost of Tsushima type of gameplay and just overall vibe with like Sekiro level combat. Like the combat looks really cool. The enemies look really sick in this game. There's a grappling hook and there's a glider. And it looks very polished. I know that it still has a little bit to come out. It's actually coming out late March. It's probably a little bit of polish, but honestly, it looks really, really solid right now. And you can use guns as well. There's guns in it.
It's the
You
Ninja
love
Gaiden
guns.
people, right?
Team Ninja. Yeah. So I do like the guns. They're pretty cool. And they're like 1800s guns. So they're the cool
Alright.
ones. Yeah. And then, the Stellar Blade deep dive that they did, very, very cool looking game. Honestly,
I pulled up
I
the
think,
trailer. It looks
it's,
Bayonetta vibes a little bit.
yeah, kind of female-led third-person action game, open world, of course. It's pretty derivative. It's kind of like the main character's name is Eve. There's a companion that she has named Adam. The Earth has been taken over by some sort of mysterious monsters thing.
Great
and-
costume design.
yeah, sick costume design. She has a tie on in the trailer, or in a lot of the trailer. And yeah, I mean, I think it's
fitted.
it's kind of biting off Matrix in a lot of ways. It's biting off a lot of things, but it's basically humankind has been forced to leave Earth, and then Eve and Adam come back to like fight it off and reclaim it, kind of thing. So a little corny here, but the character design looked really cool, and the enemies honestly looked really sick too. And the combat looks pretty solid. So I think this is looking like a pretty solid one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is classic in the making.
Yeah. And then Matt, we're getting an Until Dawn remaster.
You know,
Totally
it's kind of
wrong.
funny. I was
did see
actually
that. I
Dude.
saw a screenshot of the two.
Hayden.
I think when it was showing a Wendigo back to back of what the old and new one looked like. I was
Yeah.
like, this
What'd
supposed
you
to look
think?
like that. I like the old version better. I thought like her face was just completely white out, and then like you just see like it's just a disfigured person. I was like, oh
Yeah. Yeah. I know. And then Hayden Panettiere obviously looks great in it.
it's a
because,
remaster
yeah.
or a remake.
It's a remake. They called it. I think they called it a rebuilt, re-enhancement or something like that.
So
in
like
the
probably
trailer.
new models and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's operating on a completely new engine, rebuilt. It's actually developed by Ballistic Moon, so different developer handling the IP there.
Oh,
But-
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I put this in the category of unnecessary remaster remakes.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so unnecessary.
Nobody asked for this.
Yeah, Matt, what do you think? Matt wanted it.
I kind of wanted it. Well, here's what I did want, because I had booted up Until Dawn relatively recently, the original version that came out on the PS4, and I was playing it a bit, and I was like, man, this game would really benefit not necessarily from a remake or remaster even, but from just I think it's locked at 30 FPS,
Oh,
and that's very noticeable. And I thought when I booted it up on the PS5 for the first time, I was optimistic that it might be, get res just naturally from an increase in frame rate. But it did appear to be locked at that 50 FPS. So I'm optimistic that in this one, 30 FPS, optimistic that here it'll be a fresh 60 FPS, of course, with enhanced graphics. Obviously, this is not super massive doing the remake, but I think of all of those games from Supermassive, that style, I think this is probably the best one they've done overall.
From the sample size I have, I agree with you.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it. I'll probably check it out. I want to backtrack just a little bit really quickly to Death Stranding 2, actually.
Mhm.
They are making a Death Stranding movie. How much of a crime is it if they don't cast Norman Reedus as the lead?
Dude, there's no way that they're not. That'd be insane.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I feel like we can't rule it out.
Unless that what they do is if they do some sort of like in-universe like parallel story or something like that, where Norman Reedus maybe is like a cameo or he's not a main character or something like that.
oh yeah.
I don't know how busy the guy is, but obviously it's very different. Acting schedules are very different when you're making a video game versus a movie.
Is he still doing like big projects, or is he just on like a new Walking Dead series?
Is he on that new series?
There's a Walking Dead show, The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, yeah,
It's about
Oh,
him.
Jesus. There's another one then too, because
My
there was a
goodness.
trailer during the Grammys
for
last
the
night.
AMC streaming.
There's a new Walking Dead show, like those who live or something like that.
Mm.
They got some Walking Dead skins on Warzone apparently as well.
Oh Man, nice. The collaboration.
I didn't
Really
realize
needed.
that series was
The one we
getting
needed.
milked still.
Dude, yeah, I cannot believe they're still milking. How are they able to do
Yeah.
this?
If you
Who's
still watch
watching?
that show, you need to grow up.
Someone said it.
It's not 2014 anymore.
Move
It's
on
like
from your
soap opera
life.
level at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Zombies have been out. Did you guys see Judas?
No,
That new game from the creator of BioShock?
I don't know anything about this.
Looks cool.
The trailer actually got me going. I thought it was really cool.
Do you
honestly,
get to portray Jesus Christ?
I don't know. No, I mean probably not.
One
but
hope.
it kind of has like this colorful dystopian vibe to it. First person combat style of game. It's a little unclear what the story is of the game, but it honestly just looks visually really, really sick. It kind of has like a BioShock vibe to it, although it does look like way more evolved and creative, I'd say.
Yeah.
So that one looks really, really cool.
There's going
And
to be a lot of
honestly-
cosplay coming out.
I
of
am
this
watching the
one.
trailer right
Yeah,
now.
for sure.
Yeah.
There's I was really happy, just as an overall kind of thought, I was really happy with the amount of new IP we were kind of seeing. It wasn't like we saw the big sequel was Death Stranding 2. But other than that, I mean, Rise of the Ronin, new thing, Stellar Blade, new thing, we got Judas, which looks like a brand new thing. The other one was V Rising. Did you guys catch that one?
It's like
Nope.
the top down, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's an isometric action game, kind of reminiscent of like Diablo or something like that, but it is action oriented. But it looked really, really sick. I mean, it just looked like a cool world, cool story. It, again, didn't really show too much, but apparently it's a fantasy survival game.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Another one. Oh yeah, Matt. The Metro series is continuing with a VR game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that. That was on my list I wanted to talk about too. I'm a little upset that is a PSVR only title, it looks like, which I've already shelled out for the Meta Quest, so I don't anticipate shelling out for the PlayStation VR anytime soon, admittedly. I do think, I do think we should actually go back and play some of the Metro series, or one of the newer ones even, like that series. Have you played it,
love
Lucas?
I would take
I've
one for the
played-
team.
Oh, you have?
I played half of Metro Exodus.
Yeah, I
and
played-
I really liked it.
Yeah, I played the first one and the second one. I think the second one, yeah.
Isn't there just two?
It could be Hot Mickey. Can you fact check that?
I know Metro Exodus is the sequel. That's what I
There's
watched.
Metro
Or that's what I played.
2033, and then I think Metro Exodus.
Chambers, are you on the Metro train?
I'm not, but I know it's
don't
like
even know what this series is.
post-apocalyptic Russia, and I like trains, so
Yeah.
So
I-
There's Metro
I
2033,
mean,
Exodus was
which came
2019.
out in 2010. Metro Light, which came out in 2013. I played those two.
Okay.
And then there's
And Exodus was
Metro
2019.
Exodus, which came out in 2019. I want to play Exodus.
Yeah, they're like way more. Mickey, you gotta silence your phone, man. We're
I thought it
recording.
was.
the hose are calm.
So yeah, Chambers, I feel like you would actually like the Metro games. They're post-apocalyptic nuclear Fallout type of games, but they're like on the complete opposite end tone-wise from like Fallout, where they're actually
They're
like
serious.
they're very like they're extremely dreary and like realistic in that like a lot of the game is really scavenging and like trying to scavenging in a fun way. Like you're
Okay.
actually trying to craft and scavenge your weapons. Like bullets are super, super rare.
Yeah, they're
Like-
also your
Okay.
currency.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the crafting system becomes this balancing act of like, okay, what do I build here? What do I need? And then when you find stuff to make certain items, it's like a big deal, So
Yeah.
it's got a really great currency crafting sort of balancing system. It's really cool.
Yeah,
okay.
very cool game. Very cool series. Very excited for that VR one. At least definitely gonna watch some of it. Yeah, would love to go back and play that. They also announced too a Legendary Tales VR game, which
I saw that.
looks cool. I mean,
It looked cool.
it's like a fantasy, magic swords game. There's a lot like that. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
But nothing new.
Yeah.
Off topic on the VR topic though. I've been playing a lot of Super Hot, and it's a fun game in
Oh.
VR. It is
Yeah.
and actually a genuine challenge at some points too. It's a good time.
Hell yeah,
Seems
dude! I want to.
stressful.
We should have played it on Friday when we were hanging out. We'll
It would have had no
We'll make
room
time.
in Hot Mickey's apartment.
we could have made room.
Could have
I
stood
don't
on
know
the
how we could
table.
have made room.
Yeah.
Next time you all are at my place, we can get it going. It's a good time.
Next game night
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and then the last thing I want to talk about off this list, because I don't really care to talk about Sonic Shadow Generations. is Silent Hill.
Bro, I heard Hayden Christensen might be voicing Shadow.
I heard that
Oh
was
my
false. I heard
Oh,
that
and
was
you know
false.
what? And I lied. I heard that for the Sonic 3, not the game. So disregard
Okay.
what I said.
Okay. Well, it looks.
Darn.
It literally just looks like they took like some of the greatest hits from other Sonic games and put them into some sort of anthology game or
Sounds
something.
like Sonic.
Look pretty mid.
I've
not gonna
never
lie.
been big into Sonic games.
Yeah.
The only ones I cared about were Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay. The weirdest kids were into
I had a lot of
Sonic.
fun playing the Game Boy ones back in the day. But yeah, not. Despite having drafted one in 2023, which, by the way, when are we doing the 2024 draft?
We should get on that pretty soon.
Yeah.
Maybe next episode.
But I am, eagerly awaiting that draft episode, but admittedly not too eagerly awaiting any more Sonic games at this point.
Did you guys check out the Silent Hill game?
Wait, another one?
Yeah.
Didn't we just have one come out?
Well, it's the trailer for Silent Hill 2.
Oh, okay.
It's the Silent Hill 2 remake.
No, I didn't see.
Okay. Look pretty
not see
sick. I'm a big survival horror fan myself, so I thought this one was really great. Got me really excited. The monsters look really scary and really cool. And, it's kind of funny because, Matt and I have been we played Resident Evil last year for one of the Halloween games. And then I played the Resident Evil 4 remake not too long ago. And I feel like what a modern day survival horror games, I feel like can go so far mechanically. And I think like this one will just this one will be sick. I can almost guarantee it.
I don't know why. I thought Silent Hill was associated with Kojima.
It kind of is because
Is it?
he made
PT, right?
he made that playable teaser trailer with Guillermo del Toro, or playable trailer.
It was a demo.
Yeah,
Man,
demo. Sorry,
I'm
Go to
rewatching
demo.
some of this trailer right now for the remake, and I hope I don't have to play this game.
we're gonna play it, Matt. This will be the Halloween game.
You're gonna have to play it alone at midnight.
Doesn't it look so scary?
Bro,
Isn't it doing?
Yeah.
Isn't it doing such a good job?
For those that don't remember, I literally played Resident Evil Village like during the day with all my lights on in my apartment and like jazz music, like fun like jazz music, like Eurodance playing in the background.
Oh, my-
The Hamilton soundtrack. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only way I could get through it.
That's terrible. That's scarier than the game.
So, anyway,
You
I
don't
think that
fuck with
just.
Hamilton, Milkman.
No, I'm not. I'm not even discussing that one.
Oh, I like Hamilton. Wait, I actually like Hamilton.
Oh no.
Chambers, what do you not like about Hamilton?
So let's have a discourse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me preface that I've never watched the play.
Okay, then we can't. Then
There's
no
discussion to
we're
be
done talking.
had.
There's nothing to talk. Yeah.
There is, because I heard an interview of
Okay.
what's his name?
You're losing credibility.
Lin Manuel.
I'm not trying
Lin-Manuel.
to.
You even
have
know the guy's
credibility.
name you hate?
All right, Lin Manuel.
This is like Matt
Miranda.
level of hating. You got nothing right now.
So I heard it. I heard an interview of him once when this first came on the scene. I was like, "Whoa!" Like it's about Alexander Hamilton, but there's rap in it and shit. That sounds sick. And then my friend's girlfriend was a huge fan of it, and so she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna play the music from it." And that was the shittiest rap I've ever heard. Like it sounds like Disney Channel rap
Yes.
or like Kids Bop. It's the rap like that
I mean,
rap
if it's a
album
musical,
does not go
like, I
hard.
think
That
you gotta-
sucks.
It's not. Well, I think you're missing the point.
I mean, we're
of
expecting
what-
to hear like Kendrick Lamar come out.
Yeah,
I was
it's-
I wanted to hear something like gangster rap or something like, but with Alexander Hamilton.
I think you had incorrect expectations.
I
I
did.
think you should go to Disney Plus, keep an open mind, and actually watch it. I think you would actually.
It's on Disney Plus.
It is, yeah,
Okay.
the whole thing. Admittedly, though, and this is a commonly held thing, Matt, I'm sure you share this opinion. Lin-Manuel Miranda is not he himself
No.
who created Hamilton. He's not like the best singer performer. The other people that have played Hamilton after him have generally agreed to be better.
He's one of the
And-
prime examples of like what I believe with some musicians, where he's a prime example of someone that clearly knows how to sing well, but just doesn't have like a naturally good voice.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Well-trained.
actually I fuck with that, Matt.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would like Hamilton. Look at me, Chambers. Do you think I would like it?
I
not.
wouldn't guess. I would not
Yeah.
guess.
It's actually good. You should actually check it out.
Yeah. I saw it live. Pantages. It's great.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I'm jealous. I I think that also because I wanted to hate it too, just because of the cultural phenomenon that it was and how annoyed I was.
It is
with
fun
like, people playing the
hating on
soundtrack.
mainstream shit. It's very
It is.
It's
I love
it's
doing
too
that,
it's
but
too big to go like. There's no way it's actually like gonna deliver and blah blah blah. But
if I already because I've heard the music, I have.
I did too,
and I hate it. Will I somehow like it still, even though I hate the music?
I think that you were hearing the music out of context, and it probably affected your listening of it.
Yeah, I was like drunk at a party. And stuff like that.
Okay, that's the wrong place.
Wow.
That's the wrong place. Are you? Do you? Let me ask you. Do you like musicals?
There's probably like 3 musicals I've enjoyed.
Okay, name them.
Okay.
Putting him on the spot.
What's it called with Ryan Gosling? La La,
La La
Land.
Land?
Umbrellas of Cherbourg, which is La La Land is based off of.
Okay. Willy
I'll
Wonka
give it-
and the
I'll
Chocolate
gi-
Factory.
I'll give Grease a shout. Oh yeah, Willy Wonka.
Oh, Willy Wonka is his
Okay,
musical.
yeah,
I always forget
love
that
it.
one.
It's
Yeah,
one of the
Willy
greatest
Wonka.
musicals of all
I
time,
was
guys.
in a
So
performance
there's-
of Willy
there's 4.
Wonka.
Who were you?
I was. Who was I? in Willy
Augustus Gloop. You're
Oh, I think I was just an Oompa Loompa.
Oh God,
You're
Mickey,
all
you should have
orange
lied.
and shit. Dang.
Okay, Chambers. So you don't hate musicals.
It's
You should-
definitely a bottom tier genre for me, but I'm open. I'm not shutting it down because it's a musical.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad we had this discussion.
Yeah.
Matt's like really stewing over there.
Yeah. Sorry.
I like musicals.
Matt, what's your favorite? What's your favorite musicals?
Sweeney Todd,
That's your favorite.
Oh, no.
Period.
probably.
Really?
I've never seen it.
I've seen it in theater, and yeah, it's great.
Okay.
I saw the
Bro,
color
God, go see
purple
a
as a
musical.
play.
Matt, you're so serious about this take. You're just like,
Yeah.
yep, Sweeney Todd. I've seen it. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's great. It's yeah. Nothing else to say.
I think also
believe
that
you.
this type of stuff reminds me of theater kids, and I always hated the theater kids in school.
Okay.
They were the
also,
most
also,
cringe.
also something at I think we all feel the same way you feel or felt the same way you felt in high
Yeah.
school. But
I did.
You gotta let that go.
I got to be honest.
I know.
I didn't care that much for the theater kids in my high school, but
They're
then
the
I went
worst,
to one
aren't
of their. They did. Mickey, do you know the improv sport things they did? You know
Oh,
what I'm
no,
talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I forget.
I
what
would
it's
go to
called.
those with Neil. They do like improv sports where there's like a red and a blue.
Yeah,
team
my-
and
my
they
sister
compete
did
and
that.
audience decides. It was pretty funny.
It was funny.
Like
They were actually
it was
pretty good.
Yeah. Like me and Neil would be like, "Oh, when's the next improv sport?" It's like, let's go.
Yeah, I went to a few
I
for
genuinely
yearbook.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to take pictures of the event, and they were actually so funny.
Wait, Mickey, you were on yearbook?
Yeah, 3 years.
Oh, dude,
Wow.
me too. I edited too. You're a yerd.
Yes, I am.
Oh,
I still
okay.
have
Dang, I
pictures.
did not know this. Dang, I didn't know we had this connection to each other. Okay, everything makes sense now. You're a
Yearbook
yerd.
bros.
Dang.
I was on yearbook
Um,
in middle school.
Oh, dude, no, you weren't in the big leagues.
I was
High school yearbook was big
They didn't
leagues.
want me. They didn't want me.
I went to yearbook camp, Mickey. Did you?
Oh, and I didn't. I was not that hardcore, but I
Yearbook
was.
camp?
I
What
was
the
f-
sad that I didn't
that?
do it my freshman year because if you did all 4 years of yearbook, we got a little tassel and for
Yeah.
graduation. I didn't get that because I only did 3.
Oh, lame.
I got recruited
Dang.
during my freshman year to join sophomore year, and then I stayed for the rest of the time.
Okay.
Sad.
I'd be curious to see how your yearbook was.
I
took
have
a lot
them.
of
Next time you come over, I can show you.
yeah.
fucking
I have
love
mine
my
too.
yearbooks.
I took a lot of pride in the senior year yearbook that I edited. I thought it was a great yearbook.
There you
We'll
go.
be the judge.
Yeah.
Um,
Should we move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
We're
Back to
way
video
off.
games.
real
That's
quick,
yearbook.
I want to say Helldivers I thought looked pretty cool, but it's also
It
coming
did.
out on PC. Before we go to the next topic, I just want to shout out one thing I forgot to mention at the top. The LA has 2 World Cup games for the U.S. in their group stage matches in 2026. I'm stoked. We have their opener. It's going to be at SoFi. And then their second match, group stage match, is in Seattle. And they come back down to LA. I'm shocked that these did that, actually. I'm actually shocked we get any in LA. Because notoriously, the U.S. never plays any games that matter in LA. Because when we're playing this, either Mexico or Central American countries, it typically ends up being more like an away game. But yeah, I'm stoked for that to have them here in Southern
Yeah.
California.
I was talking
New
with
Jersey
my-
also getting one?
Yeah, New Jersey's getting the finals.
Yeah.
Why?
My brother is so mad about it.
I think it's just
Mob.
East Coast.
Mob.
Better time, and it's close to New York.
I saw a meme that was like, the European mind will not be able to comprehend this. And
Yep.
it was just like the New Jersey freeways and just like,
Exactly.
just fast food in like New Jersey off the highway.
Like the past
I'm
World
like,
Cups
yeah.
have been hosted in like Rio. What else have they? Like beautiful places, and then when it comes to the U.S., it's in fucking East
like
Rutherford, New Jersey.
Yeah, even like people in the U.S. don't like have any pride in East Rutherford.
Oh yeah,
New Jersey.
nobody gives
like,
a shit about East Rutherford.
Bro, they should have done it in Vegas. That would have been.
That would've been
There was
fire.
an issue with the stadium, with the dimensions of the field. That's why they couldn't host it
Yeah,
at
some
Allegiant.
of them. Yeah.
Really?
It wasn't
Dang.
wide enough.
That sucks. They should
That's
do something
very
about
sad.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ter- should
Terrible
do
design
Vegas so much.
from the stadium. The fucking Raiders can't do anything.
Chambers
right.
and I went to a soccer match last year in June.
Oh, that
Vegas.
was sick.
It was incredible. It was awesome. There were fights. It was great.
I want to go to that stadium.
Yeah.
Borderline race
Yeah.
wars happened.
Literally.
That sounds awesome. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Okay, I wanted to talk to you guys now about, or I want to ask opinions on the new, I'm sure we've all seen videos, the Apple VR headset that's out.
Oh, yeah.
It just came out this week. I was actually watching an MKBHD YouTube video on it. He's one of my favorite tech YouTubers. And, well, I'll save my thoughts. Chambers, let's start with you.
Okay. Of course, we all know how cringe it looks.
Yes.
I'm not going to deny that. But there was an episode quite some time ago where when this got announced that we talked about it, and I took a big shit on it. But
Sounds like you're coming around.
I am coming around. That's what I'm doing right now. Because I had a cousin of mine reach out to me after listening to that episode, and he was like, "Look, I had the first iPhone when it came out, and people felt the same way." And he was like, "I know it's expensive, but it's not for you. This is like the rich people are gonna have it, the CEOs and shit. They're gonna like be the guinea pigs of what this is going to be. Like they're gonna kind of push it in the direction of like what users want, and then." You know, in 10 years, we'll all have some version of this. We'll have the fucking Vision Pro 6 or something. So I'm on board with the fact that I'm going to think it looks cool in like 5 years, even though I think it's really dumb right now. So, yeah.
Okay,
I
so
love
I'm confused on your take. So yes or no?
He's slowly
future,
coming
yes.
around.
Future, yeah. No,
Slowly
now,
coming
but yes, later.
Okay. Okay.
It looks silly, but I'm giving into
Dude,
it.
I actually
one
don't
of
think
the
it looks that
ads-
silly.
One of the ads had someone wearing it on an airplane. I'm like, good God, how do you have the audacity to wear it in public like that?
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
get
No,
made fun
it
of by
looks-
everyone. It looks
It
so
looks somewhat
stupid.
okay. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Compared to other headsets, it looks the best.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks the,
You guys
yeah,
have a
okay,
problem.
Definitely looks the
you
best.
guys,
No, it looks
you
the
guys
best.
have a problem with headsets, not the Apple headset.
Yeah, and
You know
it's
what I'm
when
saying?
there's like somebody on
Yeah.
the subway that's like moving their hands around, like touching things that aren't there. That looks like really silly when no one else is doing it. But when everyone's doing it, it won't be a big deal.
I think
Right.
that just looks.
Okay.
I think that's dystopian at that point when everyone's
Yeah.
doing it.
That's okay. Mickey, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm saving my thoughts for the end.
Cook.
I'm still on the fence about augmented reality. I am not the biggest fan of it.
Why?
I think because I go more towards like what it could turn like to turn humanity more like dystopian, like they get like stuck in augmented reality, like they just wants to stay there and nothing else, like turn into like a Wall-E type of situation. Like super.
So you're
deep into-
scared?
Yes.
We're gonna get fat.
Yes, we're all gonna get fat. It won't happen in our lifetime, but
Okay.
I don't like. I wouldn't want this to become mainstream. I think it fits as a niche. Like one thing I'm really excited
Too
about.
late, Mick. The future's now, baby.
One thing I am really excited about is Konami just celebrated the 25th anniversary of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh,
and
I saw this.
they demonstrated they have VR Yu-Gi-Oh! With like the actual like summoning monsters, like how you would see in the show. And according to like some content creators I know who were there, they were blown away by this. Like you have like Dark Magician Girl as like your dual spirit, like like helping you out, giving you
Okay,
tips.
Mickey. So you like it? You think it's
Yeah,
cool?
you're bad, bro.
You're talking
You're bad
yourself
at
into it
more
right
than
now.
we are.
I say
You
it's
love
fine as
it.
a niche. It's fine as a niche. I don't want it being mainstream. I don't want it like
Okay.
blowing
What's
up.
the difference? We sit inside all day staring at our computers anyway. Might as well just strap it to our face and get on the go.
Seems like an odd line in the sand to draw.
Whatever, it's my line.
I see where Mickey's I get where Mickey's coming from though, because like it's not that it is like the line, it's that it's the next step towards the dystopian future that we're already in. That's what you mean, right?
Bro,
Mickey?
we're
We're already there, but like this is the next step.
we're maybe 20 years out from just getting like mechanical eyeballs put in, and then we're always in, baby. We don't have to wear the headset. We're just there.
Neuralink.
Neuralink, baby.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh man. Let me preface. Well, first, Mickey, I think what you're referencing was actually coming out on like a traditional VR headset, like the MetaQuest.
No,
the one
yeah,
that
yeah.
goes for
No,
the
yeah.
Pro.
What I refer to is just VR. It's not augmented reality.
Yeah. So I do share the sentiment that it is the long-term consequences of it are very scary potentially, in the sense that like I know there's some like Black Mirror episode where everyone gets like, you can literally like block people, and then like if you get like enough crimes against you or like accusations, like you're literally blocked for everyone and you just can no longer see people.
That one's crazy.
That one's terrifying if
Yeah.
we end up down that road. That said, bring it on, baby. I'm in on this. I think it's sick as fuck. I don't think I'll buy one for a while because I don't have. I mean, 3,500 is a lot to drop on a still, admittedly, relatively niche piece of consumer tech. But the milkman said it best, baby. I thought the iPhone was weird when it first came out. Everyone thought it was weird. You know, everyone was probably confused when mobile phones came out. But hey, man, these are the first movers. And those brave people on the subways looking like idiots will be gods to us within the next 5 years. I guarantee you. They'll be like the progenitors.
They're
Adam and Eve,
pioneers.
No,
if you will.
that's the worst part about this. Those fucks don't get remembered. Nobody remembers them.
Well, they get to say that they were there. That's
Yeah.
what they
Yes.
get. They get to
do
say that they were the
that,
early adopters.
but nobody remembers them.
But
Yeah.
what I think too, I think the way we'll see it adopted more is rather than seeing it adopted as a thing where you see people running around with it outside, I think you'll start to see it replace just like people's desktops, to where they just get like a keyboard that connects with
Yes.
it, and then
Yes,
just
yes,
use the big
yes.
screen.
Yeah, I
so
could
then
definitely
you
see
have
that.
a lot of people use Macs anyway, so they'll have that Mac OS up there basically. Then they'll be able to have like a 4K TV anywhere in their home. It'll be their all-in-one entertainment system for home, as well as their, computer. Because for most people, that'll probably fit their general computer needs and all they need. That's where I see it really being big. And when you view it that way, that $3,500 price tag becomes a little less egregious when you view it as a straight up like Mac desktop computer replacement. Because I don't own any Mac computer products, but I understand those desktops can run pretty expensive, upwards of 4,000 or 5,000. Am I wrong?
Oh,
on that,
yeah.
Lucas?
It depends on which one you get. My Mac Pro was $1,200.
Okay, but they can get up there for sure.
Mhm.
And I think when you consider all that, I definitely think that 3,500 becomes less egregious.
Is this going to replace a phone?
No.
We're too far off from that. I don't
Okay.
think it's one, consumer friendly enough for the masses for that, or two, I don't think it's at a point where it's like just affordable either, really.
Yeah.
But I think we'll only get to that point where with like a genuine Neuralink that operates at like the capacity, say like Cyberpunk does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the only way we'll really replace phones. Yeah, man, I think it's pretty cool. I think if anyone has the ability as a company to truly push this into the mainstream, it is Apple, more so than Meta, more so than
Valve.
Valve.
Aren't they literally the
HTC,
biggest company in the world?
Literally.
I think
Apple.
they have they're the most traded on the stock market.
So by all that, if anyone can do this, it's Apple, and I don't see myself getting one in the near future, but I'm excited to see how this plays out, and can't wait for the dystopian future, baby.
I sorry, Chambers, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, if it did replace a phone, imagine how much better people's posture would be. People would have way better posture.
Maybe
Our necks
they'd
would just
probably
be
still.
permanently cranked.
Well, it's pretty heavy on the front of the face right
Yeah.
now. Apparently,
I have heard,
the-
it's very heavy on the front.
Oh,
specifically.
I'm with Matt. I like this thing a lot. I would actually want to buy one if I could afford one right now. This is like, in terms of headsets. So here's the crazy thing. This is actually not an AR headset. It's a full VR headset. It's just that when you're viewing, when it's actually on your face, the front face, it has front facing cameras on it that are actually pass through. That's actually generating like imagery of the world onto the headset itself, onto both those 4K screens. So it's giving the illusion that you're looking through it, but you're actually not. That, for one, sounds insane. Makes it feel like it's AR, but it's not technically AR. It's fully VR. So that's one thing that's really insane. In terms of like the spatial awareness that the device has, from what I've seen and from what I've heard from other tech vloggers, it is by far the strongest in the market that's existed. And the price tag, that's what you're paying for, right? Is like, it's that expensive. It better be.
I have heard the field of view isn't as good as some people.
The field of view isn't, but the sensors that are picking up on like your fingers and hands and stuff, like for gestures, are actually very wide. From what I've heard as well. There aren't a lot of killer apps on it yet. There's actually not even YouTube on the headset natively. You have to go to Safari and then open YouTube, which is really crazy, right? I'm pretty sure that YouTube just didn't want to put in or Google didn't want to put in the development work to be an early adopter onto the tech because they didn't know where it would be. I'm sure that the YouTube app natively is going to come very soon. Spotify, same thing. I think that this is Gen 1. Like the Gen 1 iPhone, bulky, not great on battery, big charger. It's like the exact same thing with this headset. It actually has like a battery pack that you have to keep strapped into your pocket. It only lasts about 3 hours. It's kind of a heavy device because it's all glass and metal compared to other headsets. But yeah, honestly, 2 or 3 generations from here, it's going to be thin. It's going to be efficient on battery. It's going to have more apps. And I think it's going to replace a lot of computing for so many people, for like a lot of people, honestly. Yeah. If you imagine a desktop that's completely clear from monitors, and this is assuming you're not a PC native type of person, you just use everyday regular computing, or you have a desk, or you're just a native Mac user, whatever. Like myself, right? If you just have no monitors and you're just using a headset and a completely clean desk with just a keyboard and a mouse, that's pretty remarkable technology. Seriously. And honestly, I don't think that that's that dystopian. I think it's just a more efficient use of space.
Our
I think
interior
it's just
design is going to look way better.
Sure. I think that things are just going to kind of feel different in the home. I think the people taking it out in public, it's a little bit of like it's what Apple wants. It's sort of a marketing campaign. People are testing out the headset to see what it can really do on the go. But I think more than anything, this device is just going to be a home utility device, much like our desktop computers are now. And I think that you're just going to start seeing these in offices in a few years. You'll start seeing them in people's homes. And honestly, if I was at someone's home and they had a completely monitorless desk and they said, "Oh, I just used my headset," I would try it out right then. And they said like, "Yo, try it." I would immediately jump. Any of us would immediately jump in and go like, "That's cool. Yeah. I want to try and see what that feels like." Yeah. And I think like that, if it's doing it well enough that for, people using their desktop computers are able to completely get rid of all their peripherals except for a couple things to just use this one thing, that's a big advancement. That's a big game changer for me. So that's my overall take. I think this thing is really cool. It's honestly better than I thought it would be. The price point's pretty crazy, but like the build quality, everything that it can do is seems to be worth the price point right now.
Yeah. I just want to add to that, as someone that has used like the discount version of this being the pass-through in the Meta Quest, I very much see the potential of like a high quality version. Because like in the Meta Quest, like it looks decent from a recording, but when I'm looking through it myself in that pass through, it's very grainy, I guess. But like if I could, look through that and have it be like actually in more or less like 4K, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, the pass through stuff is insane.
Yeah,
the pass through stuff is seriously crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of cool things with it. You could actually take your photos that you take as panorama photos from your iPhone and view them in the headset. So you could actually step into your panoramic photos, which I think is really cool.
Oh, wow.
You can, Apple has the equivalent of PowerPoint, which no one uses. It's called Keynote. You could actually build a Keynote like presentation or just like import your PowerPoint slides or something into a Keynote. And then you can practice your keynote presentation in front of a virtual conference room or the virtual Apple Theater. So you could actually practice like what it would reasonably look like in front of a stage. And the digital environment is so high quality that it seriously does feel like you're like in a theater presenting on a stage. And you look up and there's your presentation behind you. So there's a few things that I think are pretty sick that is able to integrate with the Apple ecosystem.
One thing that I actually think would be a fantastic use of this is helping people get rid of their stage fright.
There you go.
Great. I mean, I'm glad you bring that up. We actually have an older episode for Thanks for Playing It. Anything's Possible we did way back in the day where we did VR as therapy, and there have been many cases where VR has been used as treatment for things like PTSD through like exposure therapy or like fear of crowds, stuff like that, for phobias. So yeah, I'm sure that will only be even further embraced by everyone at large once more people get their hands on this tech.
Yeah. Imagine like therapy sessions with the Apple headset. Imagine ayahuasca trips with the Apple headset.
Oh,
It's
no.
going to be crazy, dude.
Hell.
It's going to be wild.
Don't mix it with the.
Here, I'm throwing it in the chat here. When you guys have a sec, watch like this just minute-long clip. I think that kind of really highlights how sick the Vision Pro could be, like just as your home computer, basically.
Did you put it? Where'd you put it?
I put it in the Riverside chat here.
Oh, okay. Let me
Okay.
check. Let me peep this.
I'll beep it.
We got to fill the dead air, guys. So
Yeah.
make sure you talk through it while you're watching.
All right. Man, I gotta take a shit. Right
Yeah. Okay, not that.
Mickey, I started watching Heavenly Delusion.
Oh, what do you think of it so far?
Those kids, man, they're pretty weird kids.
They
All of
are.
them are pretty weird so far.
They are definitely living in an apocalyptic world, so it's hard to be normal.
Yeah, this is true. But I'm only on episode 4, but it's pretty good so far.
This is sick. I
Right,
like what
this
I'm
is
watching.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like every
Pretty
wall
wild.
just has like a different screen.
Yeah. And this is so, if you like really think about it, this is so rudimentary. This is like only the tip of the iceberg.
Uh-huh.
And the stuff that he's doing is probably pretty, like, not insane. Like he just has screens up, right?
Yeah, and like
imagine
it doesn't even move with him. Like it stays in the rooms.
Yeah. It's all, the spatial awareness of the device is crazy. It
That
actually
is
just stays
actually
where it's supposed to be.
Wild.
Dang.
Yeah. So, nah, man, honestly, you got to respect it. It's like, it's good tech when they finally make the headset, you know? And even MKBHD did this really cool thing where he played ping pong while wearing it just to check the latency of the pass through. And it's basically completely latency-less. Like because it's cameras facing the front that are feeding the world back into you. And it's doing it so fast that you could actually just play ping pong. Like that's how quickly it's communicating these camera info to the screens on the actual headset. That's wild. Like think of that in any other capacity. Like there's no, like devices just really can't do that. So props, man. Props. Matt, are you doing this? I see you pinching your
I'm
fingers.
watching
Yeah.
the video, yeah. It's because it's interesting. That's how it is on the Meta Quest too. It's the same pinching motion. Yeah.
Okay. Last topic I wanted to touch on for you guys real quick. And fun shout out to our Thanks for Playing.live website. Matt, real quick. I just said the website. Where could people read the article that we're about to talk about right now?
Everyone, you can find all of our written content as well as links to all of our social media handles, as well as our YouTube, all that fun stuff on our website, thanksforplaying.live. You can find a link to our Discord there. Come hang out in the Discord. It's a great time, a great place to reach any of us, myself, Lucas, Hot Mickey, the Milkman, the whole crew. As well, you can find any of our social media handles at TFP Podcasts. That is TFP Podcasts with an S at the end.
Hell yeah.
Check it out.
So we have a new article out on the site. It's called What is an Indie Game Anyways? And this is something that Matt and I were talking about. I think it came up as a big topic during the Game Awards, and we actually kind of were all a little bewildered on certain things, right? Because the Indie Game Awards, the Indie Games category for the Game Awards this past year was a little bit ambiguous of like what you consider to be an indie game. Dave the Diver, Hi-Fi Rush, certain games are considered to be indie. And Dave the Diver is actually not even a like self-proclaimed indie game. They're actually backed by by Nexon, which is a massive, massive publisher, actually the publisher of The Finals and Maple Story. So huge game publisher, tons of money, and Dave the Diver gets made. And, you know, one thing that is kind of going around is like, what is an indie game, right? And what do we mean when we talk about indie games? Is it simply just an eye test? Does an indie game just look and feel a certain way? Or is it just kind of the opposition to the standard AAA open world kind of fiesta that we're so used to these days? So, Chambers, I want to get your thoughts first. Indie game. What's your favorite indie game? What do you think of indie games, or where do you think they're at right now?
Okay, I don't know what my favorite indie game is because I'm honestly like because of this topic because I'm not sure what is considered an indie game, what isn't. Okay, if I have to define an indie game, I think that there has to be some sort of industry understanding of what it is, like an actual like has to be like a company of X amount of size can only have like a certain percentage of ownership of this company or X amount of investment or X amount of employees for it to be considered indie. Because if you're being funded by Microsoft or something, you're not indie. In other industries, like I think of like craft beer or something, if Budweiser buys you, you're not
craft beer anymore.
You're not craft beer anymore. Same thing with like coffee. Like those are like industries I'm aware of that people like usually give that coffee place or that craft beer shit for, you know, selling out. Or if your favorite band gets signed with like Capitol Records or something, that's not the same as like them like running their own shit. And that sort of line is for some reason not existent in the game industry, and I think it should be, and it should be like fairly clear. I don't know why, but yeah, that's my opinion right now.
You know, it's interesting. Indie games have almost become more of like a style thing. Like
I agree.
When people they're not really worried about the budget or the, you know, the associated publisher, developer, or who owns them or whatever. It's like, oh, if this game is kind of artsy, that maybe does things a little bit differently than a traditional game, it's going to automatically get that indie game title. Hence, Dave the Diver,
like indie music.
Yeah, no, that's kind of my take on it too. Is I feel like we've totally just bastardized the word. I feel like indie is not even a really useful term anymore. Like Dave the Diver's indie, but like Rocket League kind of is, but also so is like the Finals in a way. Like there's this weird zone that we're in right now where like, you know, if it's like a small team of dedicated developers and they have a big budget, that's indie. And if it's like a game studio that's just like one guy who published on Steam, that's indie as well. Like Undertale is considered indie and Dave the Diver is considered indie. And I think at that point we're kind of using the word has become kind of useless in a way.
Totally.
I would really compare it to like music, probably more so. Even probably I was trying to think of a way to compare it to like the film industry and what we consider indie movies. Indie has a lot more of a clear line in film, but music, I mean, like people just hear like Mumford and Sons and go like, oh, this is like indie music, or like, oh, they hear Arcade Fire and they're like, oh, yeah, it's kind of like that indie track or something. And if it's like playing in an Apple store, it's an indie song or something. And that's like not useful anymore because massive indie sounding bands are huge sometimes, and like Arcade Fire, like Mumford and Sons, you know. So I think that we've just gone this weird direction as a collective, and like indie has had kind of a short term period of what we've really considered it to be. Because if you think back, and we talk about this in the article a little bit, like Cave Story and Braid, those were like Xbox Live Arcade indie darlings that came out. Those really kickstarted like the modern era of like what indie games kind of became. And then, you know, continuing along that line is, you know, some Supergiant games and, you know, Undertale and things like that. But now, man, we're in a weird zone, and I feel like we're only going to fall more into it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think for me the best way to sum up indie these days is this is actually a excerpt from an article we threw up on our website, but quote, "At the heart of it all, indie games are about breaking the mold of conventional games and daring to be different. Whether they're bringing back the nostalgic pixel art or introducing mind-bending gameplay, these games are a testament to the creativity and resilience of their developers. Simply put, it's less about the categories and more about the fresh perspective and unique experiences that these games offer." I think that is what people look at when they describe an indie game. I think there is a good argument, though. You know what? Actually, there's two reasons I believe this. There's a good argument. One, that there should be clear like metrics, like, oh, this is how much funding it had, or any funding from like a big studio, whatever it is, the size of the team, things like that, where you can clearly say, oh, this is or isn't an indie. I think the biggest one obviously being, did they have any sort of support from a giant publisher or like any other developer, something like that. That's one. But two, oh my God, I was about to cook and I forgot.
I'll save you, Matt. I'll
Forgot
save
the
you.
ingredients.
Yeah. No, I think what the quote that you took away there is pretty on point. I think the only issue is that if a game breaks the mold and is non-conventional, calling it indie is just not useful enough. Even if it could be a massive game that breaks the mold and does something a little bit different. I think granted, like AAA games exist to appeal to the widest audience as possible, which is why they're AAA, which is why they have so much money, because people don't want to lose money. But like, I don't know, there's like a game, there's like it almost means that you can't be like a big game and do like an alternative art style or something like that. Or what if a AAA game took like a pixel art style approach, but it was massive and it was 100 hours long and it was huge and had like 1,000 devs on it. People would still call that indie, I think. Or people would still like, if it had just an alternative way of being, even if it was like, had tons of money poured at it, had all the hours, had all the makings of a AAA, if it just breaks the mold and is a little bit different, I think people do look at it differently and sometimes put it in the indie category. Like Dave the Diver. It's a perfect example. Our Hi-Fi Rush from this last year.
What I was going to say, too, is I think it's important to establish like a true definition of indie, because my biggest fear would be like a giant AAA studio ready to put the resources into a game that might be really interesting, really innovative, whatever it is. But then they think, oh, we're not an indie studio. This isn't our like typical thing. We can't do this. Mm-hmm. And then they go and make
Spider-Man 5
or Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Yeah.
Which somehow looks worse than Arkham Knight did.
There's a term that's out there which is called triple I, like AAA, but triple I, which I think is the term is okay, I think, but that's kind of like the Dave the Divers or, you know, the Hi-Fi Rush and stuff, or Hellblade. So I think triple I might be a little bit useful. Also, I don't know what a double A game is.
We went from
I have no idea.
AAA.
I don't know how we went straight to AAA. I don't even know what single A or double A means.
Yeah,
I feel like there was. I mean, they didn't call them AA, but there was like more like mid-sized studios, like in a different landscape, like in the 2000s maybe, where there was, smaller companies that would still make a successful game. Like, you guys remember Mercenaries?
Yes.
Oh yes,
like that
My brother
type of game.
Loved that game.
That's like a AA game. But
apparently, A Way Out is considered a AA game.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting. What is Neon White, Matt? That's probably a AA game. I guess that's technically an indie game, which is crazy.
It's published by Annapurna, so I don't know.
Yeah, see, but it is developed by like a few people.
Yeah.
And it's their first.
What would we consider Riot Forge games then?
See, so that's interesting too, Mickey, because that's a weird zone too, because Riot Forge is an indie game mechanism that's run by Riot. So there's like no real good term for it. They're indie games, but they're really not. because they're using
Their indie
Riot
game is
IP.
funded by a AAA developer.
Yeah, using Riot money, which there's a lot of. So,
Yes.
well, they did lay a bunch of people off, so maybe not.
There's still a lot.
So,
But
yeah.
just less of it to go around to other people.
True. So anyway, at the end of the day, I think the discussion is just an ongoing thing. Indie is just a weird term, right? It's in a weird spot, I think, as a categorization and it's not technically a genre either.
No.
It's like indie is not a genre, so it's weird that
It's like a flavor of genres.
Yeah, it's like Chris Nolan got really upset about people using the word biopic for Oppenheimer because he's like, that's not a genre, or like that's not a useful term. That's not useful terminology for my movie.
Yeah.
Which he's right. As much as I dislike Christopher Nolan, I think that's on the nose, and I think that indie's kind of at that point right now, as in our industry, where hey, like how do we categorize a game like Dave the Diver? How do we categorize a game like Undertale? Besides using this all-encompassing, ambiguous thing. Yeah. Anyway, boys, just want to go off on that for a bit. Anybody else got anything?
No.
I have one. Sorry,
Oh no,
I have
go.
one thing
I
about
did
this.
have one more too.
This
Right, Chambers.
this reminds me this like lack of enough language to describe these different types of things. This reminds me of when I was in high school. I wore glasses similar to like the ones on my face right now. Like ninth grade, I was a big fan of MGMT. Shout out to MGMT. And purely off that basis, I was always called a hipster by kids in school. And there was no clear definition on what that was. It was just like, when you see it, and I didn't like that. And I kind of feel like indie is the same way with this, where it's people's like lack of knowledge. Like they don't give a shit about where the funding came from or anything. And so they're willing to ignorantly like use the word indie, and it's a misappropriation of what that word is supposed to mean.
Yeah. Oh man, that hipster. Everyone was just
I
people just get
hated
called
that,
hipster
dude.
all the time.
Yeah.
Just
It had lasted until like 4 years ago for me.
I
with
know.
my more
Dude, that's how
normal
I
friends.
felt with the word cringe and how that blew up. It honestly pissed me off how often they got used, because it was not the correct use of that term.
everything's just cringe.
Yep.
All right, Matt, what did you have? You had another thing.
Yeah, so recently there's been some news that Microsoft is apparently bringing a lot of their games that we thought would be exclusive to them to other consoles now.
I did hear about
notably,
this.
Hi-Fi Rush is going to be coming out eventually, most likely on the PS5 and Nintendo Switch. And then Sea of Thieves is most likely making its way to more non-Xbox associated platforms as well. I've also heard rumors, for example, things around like Gears of War, as well as the new Indiana Jones game coming to the PS5 as well.
Wow.
I don't know exactly the reasons why around this. Phil Spencer did tweet out today, quote, "We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for next week where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox."
Oh.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine what business strategy involves them bringing some of their coveted exclusives to other consoles and PS5, other than driving more revenue through sales. However, I can't imagine that their cash reserves are running low, considering it's Microsoft. So
Yeah.
doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, especially with their recent acquisition that is fully acquired now of Activision Blizzard. It just doesn't make a lot of sense why they would not try and make more of their games exclusively on the Xbox and PC by extension, and allow them more on the PS5. And it's very crazy that ones like Gears of War might get PS5 releases. I don't know if that means like old Gears of War games or any new ones that may come out, but it's interesting.
I'm interested to see where that goes.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones in particular is kind of mind-blowing if that comes out on the PS5 too, because that's like one of their biggest upcoming
They just showed it
games.
off. Yeah. Interesting stuff. It's exciting to see how the year is playing out. It's already been a pretty eventful video game industry year. So I guess seeing where these IPs go and all this kind of stuff, it's going to be interesting. All right. I think that about wraps it up, guys. Matt, again, we talked about it earlier, but in all seriousness, where could people find us online?
Honestly, everyone, you can find us online at TFP Podcasts. That is at TFP Podcasts with an S at the end. That is our TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter as well. You can also find us at thanksforplaying.live. You can shoot us an email there. Excuse me, not an email, but you can find all of our written content there, or go to our YouTube, all that fun stuff. As well, you can find links there to our Discord, and as well, in the link tree in any of our social media handles, you can find a link to our Discord as well. Discord is the best place to reach myself, Lucas, Hot Mickey, Hylet, Orion, any of the TFP crew. Come hang out. It's a good time. A lot of our older channels in there have gotten, kind of some more fire lately. I've recently gotten to a discussion around
Cyberpunk, that one.
Cyberpunk with Alan. So it's coming back. It's fun. Coming out. It's a great time. Shoot us an email at thanksforplayingpod@gmail.com, and I'll personally send you a selfie back with my mustache. You'll love it. It's great. It's a good mustache. And I think that's all we got.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. This has been Thanks for Playing. Catch you next time. Scoobity bop.